You have the power to place really small, permanent curses on people. Things like never winning bingo or having them suddenly dislike a food they used to love. One day, someone nearly kills you cutting you off in traffic, and you curse them. Little do you know, you just ruin their life. They're supposed to be small curses. At least, they always have been before. Whenever someone irks me a bit, I involuntarily put a curse on them. I've never really wanted to, but I'm only mostly human. There's a wizard somewhere in my ancestry several hundred years ago, and unfortunately I received a small part of that inheritance. So, I have to guard my emotions carefully. I've often been called cold and logical, but I just have to be. Thankfully, as a sort of counterbalance, I also have an inherent ability to bless people. So, whenever I end up cursing someone, I always counterbalance it by making the curse specific and insignificant. So, if I get upset by poor service at a restaurant, I might curse the bitchy waitress to always have bad flatulence. Want to behave like a cow? Fine, you now have the privilege of permanently smelling like one. That sort of thing. I work as a truck driver. Something not many people realize is just how dangerous flatbed steel hauling is. If I slam on my brakes too hard, the stuff on my trailer can launch into my cab. Too many truck drivers have died this way. So, I'm always extra careful to leave a gap between my truck and the car in front of me. But, this morning, some asshat in a BMW decided that he wanted to brake check me, repeatedly. The first time, I saw it coming, and I was able to slow down safely. The second time, he slowed down even quicker. I almost stopped, and then he slowed down even further. I tried to move to the shoulder, but he stopped in front of me, giving me no choice but to either hit him, or to hit my brakes. For what it's worth, I don't care much for the life I have. I don't dislike living, but living while cursing people isn't much fun. So, I hit my brakes. I heard it more than I saw it, the steel crashing through the bulkhead, then against the back of my truck cab, through it, and then into my sleeper, coming for me, in my driver's seat. I don't think I'll ever forget that sound. The grinding, grating noise of rough, oiled metal on metal. Some might say that I got lucky, but I think it's part of the ancestors' inheritance. The steel stopped just short of my seat. Then, the guy in the Beamer fled the scene. In my adrenaline-induced state, I could tell that he squealed his tires to get away, but I only just barely heard them. I was more focused on the curse I was going to give him, even if I didn't want to. How didn't I die? I thought to myself. The next immediate thought was the curse. May you get ticketed for every vehicular infraction from this day forward. I thought. Honestly, I was more pissed that I survived than anything else, but, man, I realized afterwards just how much of a doozy that curse was. Police showed up minutes later. Apparently, one was sitting in the median less than half a mile away, and his dashcam, along with the one in my semi-truck, recorded the whole thing. Less than 5 minutes later, the guy in the BMW was pulled over and arrested for multiple charges. Apparently in this scenario they charged him with attempted murder, fleeing the scene of a crime, resisting arrest, and several other charges. Days later, I found out the guy was the hotshot son-in-law of some CEO, and getting all those tickets was the first domino that quickly led to his CEO dad basically kicking him out of the family. The guy's wife hadn't had kids with him yet, so it was relatively easy for her to file for divorce. Without access to her or her dad's money, the guy had to get a pro bono lawyer.